And what is London Wildlife Trust?
London Wildlife Trust is not tweed-wearing aristocratic landowners. London Wildlife Trust is actually part of a national organisation of wildlife trusts. There's 46 of us in the UK. There are more members of the Wildlife Trust than there are political parties combined. We have more nature reserves in the UK than McDonald's have restaurants in the UK. I don't know whether comparing myself to a global fast food chain is depressing or not. And we also have more nature reserves than we have railway stations in this country. London Wildlife Trust has 36 of them in London.
Wow, that's surprising. I like that. There's some big stats.
Yeah.
So why in London do you think that nature recovery is such an urgent issue? Why are you campaigning for that?
We are one of the most, I mean, I've opened with some really big fancy stats, but we are one of the most nature-depleted cities in the world. We've lost over 40% of our native species since the 1970s. So we're in a bit of a bleak situation, but I come with messages of hope every time I speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So maybe you give us a bit of a kind of understanding of what's led us, apart from, I'm sure we can all guess, but in your knowledge, what's led us to this slightly depressing situation? What's going to take us out of it? And I know this is 3 questions at once, but just kind of slightly framing this, there's some pretty kind of big things happening in the world of political policy that you care about from your perspective.
I think politics has been for too long tone deaf to the majority opinion that nature is so important to our everyday lives. Our connection with the natural world is something that we probably, when we were younger, assumed it was just there, and now we can't take it for granted anymore. I think politically, we're in a situation right now which is farcical. There is this false binary being peddled by number 11, by number 10. This false narrative, this dichotomy between nature or growth, nature or homes. I think for the last 20 years, we've been working really well with DEFRA and other government departments with this idea of nature and homes. But that is now being fought against, so that's being questioned or broken down. Jumping spiders are being accused of holding back economic growth. Bats are in the way. I think when you start blaming small insects for the economic decline that we're in, you're in trouble. And that's the point we've been trying to say and make. There is a green growth agenda that goes hand in hand with nature recovery.
So what's the rub of the tension then? Is it essentially about building on greenfield sites and planning legislation? Is that the kind of tension there? The argument we need to build to grow, and that's going to
build to grow
nature.
wherever we need to build anywhere and everywhere, and nature's in the way. We can design nature-rich housing. We as a wildlife trust, have been mapping around the UK where nature recovery can happen, and by default, where those maps indicate where housing can happen. So you have a wildlife trust, you have other ENGOs talking to DEFRA, actually indicating where homes can go, where infrastructure can go by the fact that we've mapped nature recovery at the same time. So we see this as an opportunity rather than a constraint. This false binary, this argument that's this dangerous and/or pitch is just not working. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make economic sense. It doesn't make sense for people where they live, and it doesn't make sense for the natural world.
What do you think is the most resonant argument about why we should preserve nature? I mean, obviously, it's in a way it's so obvious that we should, but there's all the evidence about the effects on people's mental health, how it improves that lifestyle, not least to kind of preserve the planet for future generations. But what to you is the thing that has leverage when it comes to that question? Whether you're
Well, there is research, there's proven evidence to clear there that it improves people's mental health and well-being. Connection with the natural world is something that brings us joy and hope and calm. I don't need to prove it, but walking just here, listening to the screeching sounds of swifts bombing unsuspecting helpless insects, it's a joy to behold. It's fun. I'm from London. I'm from urban London, and I have a connection with the natural world that I know young kids on housing estates and the nature reserves that we build in and around housing estates, when they come onto our nature reserves and ask questions like, what's that plant there? And it's this long thing, it's just grass that's grown longer, and their mind is blown because their understanding of grass is football pitches with with whatever on it. It's something that you see the spark in young people's eyes, and it's reconnecting with the natural world that gives them joy, gives them hope, and should be giving us joy and hope as well.
So you're from London, you're campaigning in London. What is your vision for this city in the next 10 years?
We're bringing nature back, to coin a phrase. Justin Timberlake, is it? Timber Snake?
Snake is someone else.
Okay. In 10 years' time, there are beavers embarking. These aren't just ideas. This is not audacious.
Okay.
And I hope that has no hope. This is real. These are real examples.
Okay.
We're working on it. Beavers embarking. We're talking about reintroducing white stork in Havering. We're talking about growing the hedgehog population that's just in Regent's Park over there and connect it to Hampstead Heath. Glowworms in Croydon.
Wow.
Harvest mice in Perivale. These are all very real examples of us bringing nature back with help from London's population and our very quickly growing membership. And a quick shout out to our team out the back there. When you go for a little breath of fresh air, we're there to welcome you and give you a bit more detail about what I'm talking about today.
Yeah, tell us about that. So what can people do next to kind of be an ally to nature and your cause in the city? Right
now, in about half an hour, go for a walk. Around here, there's lots of wonderful wildlife. I don't think everyone's invited. I think it's the first 20 people that want to go. There's a lovely wildlife walk to go on. If you can't be bothered to do that, which is fair enough because you've got a comfy seat, particularly the people in the sofas here, you don't want to give it up. At the end, maybe go and talk to our team out there. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you could become a member of London Wildlife Trust. Be there to support us. It's membership that really anchors our financial foundation and gives us a voice when we go to Parliament and say we've got more members than all of you lot put together. It's the voice and the financial support we get from membership that really will keep Parliament's attention.
Great. So go out there, talk to you guys, and we've got a talk and a walk, walking tour, if you will.
A walking tour.
Happening at 20 to 3, I think, and the meeting will be just outside in the lobby, but I'll announce that just before it happens.
And
are you pointing
Pete
at the person who's doing it?
Pete. Hi,
Pete.
Pete.
Hello, Pete. We're going to wave at Pete. Pete's over there by the wall. Are you psyched, Pete?
You ready, Pete?
You ready? Pete's very ready. He's crouching by a wall. And you what, sorry? You've got a lot of ground to cover in a short while. It's going to be short and tense, and Justin Timbersnake may or may not be there. Wonderful stuff. So any kind of just final thoughts on what people can do to really improve their local environment?
The joining London Wildlife Trust, or indeed if you don't live in London, one of the other 46 wildlife trusts around the country. Yeah. If you live somewhere else, join your local wildlife trust. We really are a fighting force locally in your communities. If you have a garden, dig a pond. And I'm not saying massive architectural pond from Chelsea Flower Show. Get a washing up bowl, stick it in the ground, fill it with water. You will be bringing nature back. Within 6 months, you'll see how much wildlife is thriving around your pond. If you don't have a garden, but you have a balcony, get some wildflowers, sprinkle it into the boxy things on a balcony. Grow something that is nature-rich and pollinating. You can do small things. And if you can't do any of that, just talk about what I'm talking about in the pub or at work or over lunch to your families and friends. Talk about nature because it's so meaningful to all of us. It's so important to all of us. Our connection with the natural world is dissipating. We need to recover our connection with the natural world. We need to recover our health and well-being. We need to recover our connections with each other in natural green space. It's the best place to do it. It's all about nature recovery, and it's happening, and don't give up. We have hope, we have joy, and I'm here with it.
David Mooney, CEO of London Wildlife Trust, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, beautiful people.